Hello everyone. In this lecture we are discussing evaluation of triple integral using a given region. First of all, we are discussing a particular region, that is if region is bounded by sphere, and we know that equation of sphere is x square plus y square plus z square equals to a square. Sometimes it is not easy to find the value of triple integral using a Cartesian coordinate system. So that time usually we are converting our Cartesian coordinate system into the polar coordinate system. So similar way, there is a standard substitution for this particular region, that is for sphere. So the substitution is we have to replace x by r sin theta cos phi, y by r sin theta sin phi, z by r cos theta, and dx dy dz by r square sin theta dr d theta into d phi. Here we are in three-dimensional system, that is why there are three Cartesian coordinates, that is x, y and z, and after this substitution we will get three polar coordinates, that is r, theta and phi, and this substitution is only for this particular region, that is sphere. That is why we are calling these polar coordinates as spherical coordinate. Now using that substitution we are solving an example, and the example is evaluate the triple integral of x y z into x square plus y square plus z square dx into dy into dz over the first octant of the sphere x square plus y square plus z square equals to a square. Now in this example we have to evaluate this triple integral over the first octant of this sphere. Now first of all, understand the meaning of this first octant. We know that in 2D system there is a four quadrant, that is suppose this is a x and y axis and this is 2D system. So we know that this positive quadrant, that is first quadrant, this is second quadrant, this is third quadrant and this is fourth quadrant. So there are a fourth quadrant in 2D system, and we are generally finding our double integration in first quadrant. So similar way in 3D system there will be 8 quadrant, that is called as a octant, and we are finding our triple integration in only first octant. Therefore first of all we are writing our given region of integration, that is nothing but equation of sphere. So x square plus y square plus z square equals to a square is the equation of sphere. Now first of all we are transforming our Cartesian coordinate system into the polar coordinate system using this above standard substitution. So here I am writing, firstly we transform the given integral to the spherical coordinate by putting x equals to r sin theta cos phi, y equals to r sin theta sin phi, z equals to r cos theta, and dx dy dz equals to r square sin theta dr d theta d phi. Now our next target is to find the limit of this spherical coordinate, that is r, theta and phi. So now we are finding limits. So now here I have drawn the sphere in three-dimensional system. So this is the sphere and having radius is a, and theta and phi is the angle in first quadrant, and this is the three-dimensional system. So we have to visualize this, how this is angle. Now here our radius of this sphere is starting from this origin and ending at this a. Therefore our r is varies from r equals to 0 to r equals to a, similar like our 2D system. Similarly now we can vary this theta and phi, that is angle. So in this 3D system, in first octant our theta is moving from 0 to pi by 2. Similar in the 2D system, suppose this is a circle, so here in the first quadrant our theta is moving always 0 to pi by 2. So similar way in first octant also our theta is moving from 0 to pi by 2, and also in the first octant our second angle, that is phi, varies from phi equals to 0 to phi equals to pi by 2. That means in the first octant all angles are moves from 0 to pi by 2, and our radius is as usual is from 0 to a. So these are the limits of r, theta and phi. Now using that limits we are finding our triple integral. And to solve that triple integral, we have to convert this every Cartesian coordinate into the polar coordinate. And therefore, first of all, we are converting this bracket, that is x square plus y square plus z square, into the polar coordinate. So I am considering this x square plus y square plus z square equals to r sine theta into cos phi, its bracket square, that is value of x, plus r sine theta into sine phi, that is value of y and its bracket square, plus r cos theta, that is value of z, its bracket square. So after solving these first two terms, we will get r square into sine square theta common, and in that, in the bracket, cos square phi plus sine square phi will be remain, and we know that the value of cos square phi plus sine square phi is 1, and this another term, that is r square into cos square theta as it is. So in the next step, we are taking value of this bracket is 1, so remaining terms are r square into sine square theta plus r square into cos square theta. So here also we can take r square common, so in bracket again sine square theta plus cos square theta will be remain, and value of this is 1, so only r square is remain. So value of this x square plus y square plus z square is nothing but r square. Now we are finding our given triple integral over the first octant. Therefore I equals to triple integral of x y into z into x square plus y square plus z square dx into dy into dz. That is our given triple integral. Now after converting our system into the polar coordinate system, that is spherical coordinates, then this integral we can write as the integral from phi equals to 0 to phi equals to pi by 2, in curly bracket theta is moving from 0 to pi by 2 and r is moving from 0 to a. Now we have to convert every Cartesian coordinates into the polar coordinate system. So here we are using x by r sin theta into cos phi, y by r sin theta into sin phi, z by r cos theta, and we have already evaluate or find the value of this x square plus y square plus z square bracket, and that is nothing but r square into the value of dx into dy into dz is r square into sin theta into dr into d theta into d phi. It is taken by our standard substitution that we have discussed in the beginning. Now all limits are constant, so we are evaluating now one by one integration. First of all, we are taking integration with respect to r, that times all terms containing theta and phi will be constant. So I am taking these terms to the outside, so these terms will be sine cube theta into cos theta into sine phi into cos phi, and if we count this all r's, then total r will be r raised to 7, that is this r and r, that is r cube, and this r square into r square, that is r raised to 4 into r cube, that is r raised to 7. So here first of all we are taking integration with respect to r, so this with whole terms will be constant, and the integration of r raised to 7 with respect to r is r raised to 8 upon 8, and the upper limit and lower limit, that is r equals to a and r equals to 0 as it is. Now in the next term, if we put upper limit and lower limit, we'll get a raised to 8 upon 8 minus 0. So I am taking directly this a raised to 8 upon 8 to outside the integration, because it is constant for theta and phi integration. Now here limits of integration are constant for both the integration, that is why we can take separate integration for both the integration. Therefore we are separating this integration. First integration is from phi equals to 0 to phi equals to pi by 2 into sin phi into cos phi. Just remember here we have to take all the terms which contains only phi, and the remaining integral is from theta equals to 0 to theta equals to pi by 2. Here the terms we have to take contains only the theta terms, so the remaining terms will be sin cube theta into cos theta d theta. Now we are solving this both the integrals separately, and to solve that integral we are using one formula, and the formula is integration of f of x raised to n into f dash of x dx is nothing but f of x raised to n plus 1 upon n plus 1. So if I use this formula, that is f of x raised to n then we can consider here sine theta as a f of x, then derivative of this sine theta, that is cos theta. So this things is fitted into that format. So if I use this formula for this integration, then integration of this will be sine square phi upon 2, that is f of x, 1 plus 1, that is 2. So here n value is 1, so automatically the value of this integration is f of x raised to n plus 1 upon n plus 1. So here 1 plus 1 upon 1 plus 1. So here value of this integration is sine square phi upon 2, and upper limit of phi is phi equals to pi by 2 and phi equals to 0 is the lower limit. Similarly, for this integration again we can use this same formula. So if I consider f of x is nothing but sine theta only, then value of f of x is sine theta and value of n is 3. So similar like derivative of sine theta is again cos theta. So this formula we can use here, and if I use this formula, then the integration of this term will be sine raised to 4 theta upon 4, that is 3 plus 1, and upper limit, that is theta equals to pi by 2 and theta equals to 0, that is a lower limit as it is. So after putting upper limit and lower limit for the both, we will get sine square pi by 2 upon 2, that is nothing but 1. So here value of this is 1 by 2 minus, if I put theta phi equals to 0, then I will get sine 0, that is 0. So only upper limit value is positive, and that is 1 by 2. Similarly, from this second bracket, sine raised to 4 theta, that is sine raised to 4 into pi, that is value is 1 raised to 4, that is 1. So 1 by 4 is remain, and if I put lower limit, again value of this sine raised to 4 into 0 is 0. So this value is only 1 by 4. So after multiplying this all, a raised to 8 into 8 into 1 by 2 into 1 by 4, we will get a raised to 8 upon 64, and that is our final answer. Thank you.